Thank you so much for watching. This is a special that we're doing every night at this time until Friday. New Republic, America's Future. We're asking questions with boldness, and if that puts me or you on a watch list, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I mean, I'm doing the American thing. I am asking questions of our government. It's a responsibility. I think left or right, I don't think too many Americans, even if you support the president, are comfortable with the tactic of jamming everything down our throat. Why the rush? We have some questions before you hurry that bill through. Fill us in on the czars and the advisors. What are they doing exactly? How did they get into that position? What are they saying? What are they advising? Do they have any real power? How many of them have radical socialist or communist backgrounds? How does that keep happening with this administration? I don't have any acquaintances who love Che or Chairman Mao, or even the term czar. That kind of makes me a little uncomfortable. I think commissar is probably better. The Obama administration keeps finding these czars and expecting us not to believe that he's a radical. How is that possible? It's almost as plausible as coming from the most corrupt political system in the country, Chicago, Illinois, and coming out as a reformer with having no enemies that you exposed. And by the way, my apologies to Chicago. It might actually be the most corrupt, maybe New Orleans, which is the home of Acorn and SEIU. What does the president really believe in? He's never given us a specific. He's likable. We project on him the things that are best in us. Stop looking at the president and anybody else in Washington, right or left, through that lens. Don't see the man that is you projected on him. See him as a man who happens to be our president or a senator or a congressman. How was he raised? What does he believe? More importantly, what do those around him believe? Here's Fox News contributor and syndicated columnist Michelle Malkin is going to help us out a little bit more on this book that I read 2 weeks ago. It is called Reclaiming Revolution. It is terrifying, Michelle, and it's not an ancient book. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, it's very creepy, and what it is essentially is a self-published history of this group standing together to organize a revolutionary movement, and it is a retrospective of what this group did, how it splintered, and how it essentially disbanded, and yet grew this revolutionary cadre that's out there working today over the 90s and into 2004. And there are a lot of parallels here between the way that Acorn and the SEIU operate and this left-wing network operated as well. It's very difficult to trace who exactly was involved. And
okay,
we know obviously, for example...
Do we know about Van Jones? Was Van Jones clearly in this?
Yes, he was one of the founding members, and this revolutionary cadre, as they called themselves, was very secretive, and it was a closed cadre. You could only join by invitation only. Obviously, they did a lot better vetting than the Obama administration did in allowing people to opt into this little cadre. And then what happened was many of these members who couldn't get along with each other started their own separate groups. And to me, what is important is connecting the dots and following the money, as Pat Goodell said on your show yesterday. That's what Culture of Corruption, my book, is all about, and that's really what needs to be done here, because in fact we don't know who the shadowy funders of Storm were, but we do know some of the funders of some of their outlying groups.
Let me give you, and then we're going to come back, let me give you some quotes, America, from this book. The vigil was to be an expression of solidarity with Arab and Muslim Americans and of mourning for the dead in New York and Washington, D.C., as well as the victims of U.S. imperialism around the world. The vigil, held in Oakland Snow Park, drew hundreds of people. There, Storm members articulated a strong anti-imperialist line that resonated with everyday people there. How about the revolutionary quote? Storm developed and promoted a set of explicitly revolutionary ideas during a time when these politics were hard to find. While many people in our generation seem to dismiss Marxism as inherently white and sectarian, we look towards the revolutionary traditions of third world communism and found valuable and inspiring models for revolutionary change. And finally, Storm was never formally a Marxist-Leninist organization, and we never had a system systematic Marxist theoretical framework, but we did have a political commitment to the fundamental ideas of Marxism and Leninism. We upheld the Marxist critique of capitalist exploitation. We agree with Lenin's analysis of the state and the party, and we found inspiration and guidance in the insurgent revolutionary strategies developed by Third World revolutionaries like Mao Zedong and Amilcar Cabral. I don't even know who the last guy is. Let me tell you something. We'll show you what this group was doing and what it is transformed into, and you will see all of the other organizations much clearer in a minute. First, a programming note. Tomorrow, we'll be joined by Rush Limbaugh. Freedom of speech, I believe, is on a hair trigger. Getting rid of people like me, talk radio, conservatives in the media, and your voice. What's coming in the coming months? Tomorrow with Rush Limbaugh. Don't miss it.